Oh, what's up, everybody? Am I live and in charge? Nobody's here, but that's okay because I am exhausted today. I thought we'd talk about some Vegas facts, but thank you for being here, Albert Alvarado. Thank you for being everywhere and anywhere nowadays, huh? I spent the better part of my whole day, Albert, doing that flooring job. I have photos. I'll post them on the Patreon at some point. It is finished. My gosh, did it ever almost kill me. And I had a box of tile left over and an expensive blade for cutting the tile, which I didn't need. So I'm really happy. Hi, Connie. How's it going? Everybody's here. Everybody's filtering in. Mr. Uber is here. How you enjoying our 100-degree heat? Was it 100 degrees today? I don't know because I told somebody the temperature in Celsius, it was 37 today. It's a little more palatable when you live in Fahrenheit. You just look at the heat in Celsius because can't go wrong when it's only 37, right? Victor, there'll be plenty of haters here. We'll get haterade going all around the room. Hello, everybody. Nice to see ya. I'm trying real hard to smile. I'm super duper tired, but this marks my 20th consecutive live stream. I counted them all out. Not counting for the failed experiment where I tried to play a video game, but my internet connection isn't good enough. Not counting for the ones where I had failures from a technical level before I got this better setup. So 20th in a row, 20th day in a row. Kevly says, "Oh, you must be watching something from the Patreon that I did because I didn't do it. But oh, the backyard video. Maybe that was my daily video today. No one hates you, man. Sure they do. I got lots of haters. This video got hates as soon as it came in. If I look at my live stream, all my videos get a few hates before they've even started. But that's okay. If you don't have any haters, what y'all gonna do? Whoa, 426 Rich." He says, "Good to catch you live. Usually see them the next day since he's on the East Coast. The coast with the most is the East and the West Coast. They have the most things." Yeah, so thank you guys. Thank you 155 times to our friend 426 Rich. That was nice. Wow, I am impressed. Thank you so much, Rich. That's very generous of you. You guys know I'm always here for you, and you're here for me. And I got some stats that I shoddily jotted down on a piece of paper to read through, and we'll read through them as we go. The live stream will be 90 minutes, if I can make 90 minutes. I gotta be honest with you. I'm completely shattered and tired, and I have a giant king-size bed from the Bellagio to move in, plus a dresser and a television, and I have to set my bedroom back up. We slept in the living room last night. It's not very fun. You cannot get a good night's sleep on a little tiny couch. I gave my wife the big one. I had the little tiny love seat. My feet were hanging and dangling, and it was what it was. Ignore the haters. The mothers will call them to dinner soon. Haters, it's dinner time. Come get your Hot Pockets. Is that what haters eat? I don't know. So we've extended to May 15th in Vegas. Is that really official? I haven't seen the news all day, so if anybody can say that's official, that's great. We're going to stay till May 15th, locked in our houses without anywhere to go. But hey, look, Sisolak is supposed to do something tomorrow. Maybe he did it today. Today's only Wednesday. He was supposed to make it tomorrow. Well, hey, it is what it is, right? Aha, Oakley is taking a sexual innuendo out of what I said. I gave her the large couch, the large sofa. It's okay, we can make those jokes. Oh my goodness gracious me. Okay. Oh wow, Albert was timed out. What did Albert say that was so bad? Oh yeah, well, I don't smoke that stuff, so it's okay. Hey, it's Contessa's here, one of my moderators. One of my cool level-headed moderators. Be nice moderators and be nice to the moderators. And it's all good. You guys are great. Oh man, our governor was on national TV. I don't know why that was moderated. Guys, don't moderate that our governor was on national TV. That's good. I need to know those things. That's a good thing to do. That's a good thing to say. So we don't moderate that. Just moderate the mean stuff, the hate stuff, the sexist stuff, the bigoted stuff. Don't be moderate. I don't want to moderate the moderators. That's not very fun. Governor said you'll extend out specifics tomorrow. Good. We're going to be extended till April of next year. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, he went on the... This is how good our crackshot local media can be out here, okay? So I go on the news this morning. It's like 6 in the morning. And I'm poking around the Las Vegas Review-Journal. You know, a major daily newspaper. I have a stat for how big of a metropolitan area we have that it services. And it says that Sisolak will be on Good Morning America at 6:45 a.m. So I'm like, maybe I should just delay my video. So I go and I fire up YouTube TV and type in GMA. I don't watch that stuff. I don't care about that stuff. God, are you kidding me? Gag me with a spoon. If you like GMA, that's good for you. But anyways, GMA is short for grandma in my universe because I know somebody who has that on her license plate. And I see it's not on until 7 a.m. Good work, Good Morning America. You are a winner in my... No, wait, Las Vegas Review-Journal, good work. No, they're not giving them away. We purchased a large king-size frame from the Bellagio several years ago. It weighs a lot. The head post alone probably weighs 300 pounds, so I have to move that into the room. It's just tiring, so I'm going to make it through 90 minutes for you guys, I guess. What's my take on the Wynn CEO? He said today the White House saying that he thinks they could open by Memorial Day. I don't know. I mean, that's interesting because the last time I heard Wynn was on one of those calls, they were the ones begging for a bailout. So the Wynn can go and jump in the Bellagio Lake. Or wait, no, they're going to jump in the Wynn Lake of Dreams. It'll be a great marketing campaign, advertising thing for them. Waikiki is here. You're not the only one from Hawaii. I know somebody else from Hawaii, but I won't name names. Wow, Matt Maddox was part of the roundtable with the president today, and he mentioned opening on Memorial Day. That would be great if only the president had that executive authority, and if only the Wynn had that authority. It's all just a guessing game, so I know we're hopeful, and that's good. Yes, Trump did speak to Sisolak today. Trump has spoken to Sisolak several times, and Trump does good stuff for the state of Nevada. He has, roots here. He's got a resort here, but he loves the people, I think. And oh boy, I just said a nice thing about the president. But in times like this, we all should be united, and we all should look at I look at the governor as saying, well, I think the governor does nice things too. But you can't say anything nice about the president without people hating you and leaving you and saying, I'm never listening to you ever again. But no, I don't know when the Trump's opening. I don't know when anything's opening. Hey, Steven, when do the casinos open? Oh, man, if I had a concrete date, I would try to be the first to break the news to you. I promise you guys that. But today's video's topic is 8 facts about Las Vegas, all right? So Las Vegas luxury home market will do just fine, David, because those people, they just get richer in times of recession. People that know how money works, they take advantage of this stuff. It's not like before. I was trying to explain the housing market before. With 330 viewers and 75 likes, can I get some more likes? And maybe I'll explain what kind of happened out here in Las Vegas to you guys. And with the housing market before, I can do it. I did it before. I did it just yesterday onto Facebook's. I was on the Fakebook, and I'm sending things on the Fakebook Messenger, and somebody was saying that it was predatory for somebody to buy a cash for home. And I said, well, not necessarily. Maybe that person doesn't want that house anymore. Maybe it's their grandparents and they passed away and they're leaving Las Vegas and they don't want to, like, I'm not leaving Las Vegas, get it? Maybe those people don't want to stay in the home, or they don't want to go through the process of selling the home and going through closings and all that stuff. So it's not necessarily predatory. And I had to point out, so I got some more likes. That's cool. Thank you for the likes. I had to point out what really happened here in 2008. So if you've ever seen the movie The Big, what's it called? The Big something. The Big Hurt, I think it was. It was the one with Crazy Man, who I love dearly, Christian Bale. I love that guy. He's got a good attitude on life, doesn't he? But I love Christian Bale. He's a great actor. It wasn't The Big Lebowski, I know that much. Anyways, in that movie, there's a scene where they're in an adult gentleman's club, and they're talking to one of the girls that's an entertainer, The Big Short, thank you. And they're like, you own how many houses? And so what happened here was like this, okay? It happened all across the country in the United States. Canadians didn't really see it because in Canada, buying a house is a confusing and befuddling thing that I've never heard of. I don't know. Canadians have very strict laws. It's more essentially, the Canadian government basically controls the banks, tells them what to do. Here we have a collection of banks, and people started taking loans, and then they would take that loan and they would chop it up into little loans, and they would sell it out to the stock market as these consolidated type loans. And so that means that a person got a loan on an adjustable rate mortgage. They also had what my realtor friend calls a ninja loan. It stands for no income, no job. So ninja loans were no income, no job. You didn't even need to prove your income. You could be like, so literally, there was guys parking cars at the Bellagio and the valet. Super hard job. You deserve to make a lot of tips. And maybe with their tips and their hourly, they made 50 grand. And the loan officer would be like, well, you know, you can get more house than that. All you got to do is put on here that your tips were bringing you up to $75,000, and we can get you that loan. So people took loans on adjustable rate mortgages. And with the adjustable rate mortgage, they had a really super low interest rate. Those still exist. You can still get into an adjustable rate mortgage loan. Usually they're actually done by people who are watching the federal interest rate, and not that rate goes up, the adjustable rate mortgage goes up tremendously. It's done by people right now who are short-term investors in most cases that want to get out of the house quickly and get a very low rate on a loan. But everybody took those loans. And then when the interest rates started going wonky, their loans came due and everybody couldn't afford their loan. Thank you so much, Jerry Diver. 382 thank yous to Jerry Diver. That is awesome. Thank you so much for that. So what happened with those loans was that people couldn't afford their loan to start with. So they would get into a house, they would take a loan on a house worth $180,000 or $200,000 or $300,000. Now, normally, that loan right now costs you about $1,500 a month. But back then it was costing $500-$600 a month. So everybody's living, and all the realtors back then were like, the big ad, you get the ads in the mail and it's on the billboards, why rent when you can live cheaper? So your rent was more than your house because you were in a loan that you shouldn't have afforded to start with. And then when the interest rates kicked back in to regular land, you couldn't afford to pay it. So what's happening now is different, okay? Right now, and Victor is pointing out that the Lakers took $4.2 million of SBA loans, and this guy didn't get $1,000. I couldn't get the $1,000 SBA loan. They hit my credit check. Anyways, now what's happening is that people can't pay their mortgages. If they're an FHA-backed mortgage, then that means that the government said for 3 months nobody can default and nobody's getting evicted. Nobody's going to be foreclosed on. So if you have a 30-year mortgage, you now have a 30-year and 3-month mortgage, or however long it takes you to work it out with your lender till you can go back to work. And if the government doesn't open things up here soon, more people will be trying to extend out and defer payments on their mortgage. But back then, when your mortgage changed and it adjusted, and we're paying $600, but now you have to pay $1,000, and then the interest rates go up, and now you have to pay $1,250. You're never going to be able to catch up. So people started to default on their loans. They defaulted on their loans, meaning that they just didn't pay them because I can't pay them. And when they do that, they go into foreclosure. Well, even if you're the one person on the block that can afford their house, then that's all good. You can afford that. Then you got to have a $300,000 home, but your neighbor's on both sides of you and the guy across the street foreclosed. Now there's foreclosure auctions that are worth $150,000. And then the realtor friend that you have runs the comps, the comparables. That's what they call comps in real estate, right? They run those comps and say that, well, the houses that are all around you that are just like your house is worth $150,000. I know you took that loan. You didn't take one of those adjustable mortgages. You're paying $1,500 a month, but your house is really only worth $150,000 because all those houses are foreclosed around you. Now you're what they call upside down in your mortgage. And a lot of people on the adjustable rate mortgages, because everybody's buying real estate, and the houses, there's no inventory of houses. Their house that was worth $300,000, hey look, it's now worth $450,000. So the mortgage lending person that makes money off of transactions and lending money and finding money for people, they call you up and they say, ring ring, they say, hey, Mr. Sanchez or Mr. Stevenson, we'll call him Stevenson so people won't call me a racist. Hey, Mr. Stevenson, did you know that your house is right now valued at $450,000 because we're in such a hot market? And you say, what? 4 months ago, I paid $300,000. They say, I know, isn't that great? You know what you should do? You should take out a $150,000 home equity loan. So then you can invest in another house. And so you invest in a second house. And now you have 2 different things you have to pay, but you can still kind of swing it. It's okay. But everybody keeps foreclosing when the adjustable rate mortgages come up. So now you have 2 bad loans. And you have all this money that you owe. Meanwhile, that guy who's saying, what, my house is worth how much because of all the foreclosures? He's now in trouble because he wants to refinance, but he can't sell his home for what he wants to get for it. So he took out $300,000. He paid off a little bit of it. Now he owes, I don't know, $290,000. But he wants to move out of Las Vegas. But guess what? Can't sell your house for $300,000 and make some money back or even break even because all the other houses are selling for $150,000. Now you're underwater. Good for you. You've gone and done it. So that's not what's happening right now. What's happening right now is that the real estate market is in its freeze. Everybody's waiting to see. I call up Mr. Real Estate Investor or Mr. Real Estate Broker. Hey, would you like to rent a mobile truck to run all the way down from Summerlin on Flamingo all the way down to the Strip and back? It doesn't go on the Strip. It's perfect for you. How much is it? $2,000 for this long. And we display your ads, and there's only 10 of them, and it's guaranteed this much time. Oh, that sounds great, except I don't know what the investors are going to do, because the investors are waiting to see if in 6 to 9 months people can't work this all out and the home values do drop. Because that'll happen if nobody can move. If nobody's buying houses, then the housing values are going to drop because they're going to have people trying to sell their houses. When you try to sell something and you have a lot of something, the value of it's not worth as much. If you're the only person selling water in the desert, guess what? You're set. Boom. Good. That's what's going on with my job right now, where I try to sell mobile billboards and advertising to realtors and things like this, because the magazine is obviously not being published, so there's none of that print business going on. There you go. And that's why we're not in the same position necessarily at all, even close that we were, but we could be in a situation in 6 months to 9 months. But nobody knows. So anybody wants to tell you that now's a good time to buy, probably not a good time to buy. And we're really glad there aren't any Vegas bloggers doing long proactive videos where they tell people to buy houses right now, because it's a severe disadvantage to anybody to buy anything right now. If right now you had $40,000 to invest, I would tell you to invest it in casino stocks, and I am not giving you investing advice. I would also tell you, though, that most people don't know money and shouldn't invest their money unless they have somebody who is not a salesperson trying to help them with their money, and that becomes almost impossible. Okay. Oh, well, good night, everybody. Okay, so that is that, and we are here, and you can hoard your cash, William says, but a solid investment over time will appreciate in value a lot more than your cash. The same $100 you have now is not worth as much in 10 years as it is right now. Trust me. Everything goes up. Inflation happens. The government prints money. The value of the money that you have right now is way down. And for the record, McCarran, Texas is the place in America where $100 is worth the very most, based on going to movies, going to eat out, going to buy commodities. $100 is worth the very least in what city do you think? Tell me in the comments what city you think $100 is the very least in the United States of America, meaning the prices are so high that it just doesn't even make sense to have even $100 in your pocket. Tell me. Okay. Hi. What is that? That is all the... What is that?
I don't know how it fit in the...
Wow. We're cleaning up our room, and she's going through stuff. Okay. Jared Green. Wow. Thank you, Jared, very much. I appreciate it. It's actually New York City, yes. So New York City is where $100 is worth the very least. So we have 8 different facts about Las Vegas right now. We could talk about these, and we'll talk about them in a little bit. First of all, first fact on Las Vegas is slot machines. Slot machines versus table games and casinos. Now, I need 467 thank yous, by the way, to go out to Jared Green, who threw me a loonie. It hit me right in the forehead. It hurt, but I will recover, full recovery. Guys, thank you so much for your coolness and your generosity of being here, generosity with your time, generosity with your comments, generosity with your moderating. Gamble the Globe is promoting a slot channel in my chat. I don't know about that. I mean, if I walked into a Walmart store and said, I'm Target, I work across the street, and I'm much better than you, I don't know if they would be cool with that. Slots take in 60% of all of the gaming revenues. Now, some people are really concerned with the tables because that's what they like to play. I learned through my channel, and whoa, thank you so much, Eric, Canadian Gold Boy Gray. Guess who's back? Back again. Eric's back. Say thank you to Eric, guys. 472 thank yous. A lot of people concerned with slots. With tables, my bad, because they tell me things like, well, you know, where I'm from, we have casinos. It's Native American gaming, or whatever you want to call that, tribal gaming, and we can't play table games. Like I found out in the state of California, all the table games have to be electric. They can't be necessarily regular table games. So that's what I found out there. It seems like that sucks. But, you know, and so in Vegas, though, 60% of all of the gaming revenues come from slots. So 40% coming from the tables. But I guess it could be said that people bet bigger on the tables, right? So people put in $100 bets on slots. They put in $1,000 bets on the tables. And people do lose more money on slots. Slots on average pay out 75% back to the player per game. Now, I don't know about that last number. I just looked that up. I thought slots have a payout. They have a pay schedule that you used to be able to find on the top of the machine. Now it's digitally in the machine. It has to show you what the scale is. And I thought it was closer to 97%. But this is Reader's Digest, and they're pretty good. I don't know what to tell you. Are you a slot person or are you a table person? You tell me in the comments below. I see that Connie is a slot person. Victor pays $25 per hand on his games. That's what he likes to play. Okay, if you have to ante for table games, $5 blackjack, and you ante up 50 cents. There you go. And the new civil defense says 85 to 92%. So this might be old information because I know some of the stats on this were quite old. We got a lot of slot players in here. Wow. I'm good at slots, but I like to play the bill changer machine, which they don't even have anymore in Vegas. That was a little joke I used to make. The only game I ever played was the bill changer. I put the dollar in and I get 4 quarters back and I break even every single time. Now you can't even do that. You go to the circus, you don't even use quarters anymore. You use a card where you put your money on a card. There are 145,000 hotel rooms in Las Vegas, so the next stat is how many hotel rooms in Vegas? This will be an hour-long live stream tonight, guys. I have to cut it a little bit short because I won't make it through an hour and a half without making your experience suck. Unless, yeah, so it's going to be an hour. Sorry about that. 145,000 hotel rooms in Vegas. Now, the average hotel room cost is around $120 per night. Average cost. Take the highs, take the lows, get the average cost. I did some math, and I found out that that's $17,400,000 a night if you had full occupancy at all those hotel rooms, which sometimes they get close to. That's insane, right? Now, if you add in the $16,500,000 that the casinos lose on a daily basis, you're looking at a potential loss. Wow, thank you, Eric, Canadian Gold Boy Gray. You are the man, dog. I appreciate it. 487 thank yous and likes. I added up, and it's $33,900,000 potentially in lost revenues a day for just the hotel rooms and just the gaming in the casinos. That doesn't take into account the entertainment, the food and beverage, the alcohol sales. I mean, these casinos, this city might be losing $50 million a day by being closed. You lose $50 million a day at anything, you're hurting. I heard in a presidential, the president's not doing the full-on press conferences anymore, but he's doing a question and answer. And somebody asked him, would you be willing to help the states out? And he said, I'd be willing to help the states that were hurting because of what we're going through. And I thought in Nevada, yeah, we're hurting because of what we're going through. Absolutely we are. There's no doubt about it. No do to boot it, as they say in Canada. So if you lose $50 million a day and you do some basic math and you don't touch the computer because you have a wobbly Gorilla Pod holding your camera up that shakes and sucks, you'd go like this, okay? I am coughing. $50 million a day. Let's say it's 50 million. And you multiply it by the 60 days we're going to be closed. You have $3 billion with a B dollars lost. $3 billion lost in 2 months if they were to be full occupancy, which we know they wouldn't be. But let's be honest here. That's a pretty big number no matter what. Yeah, it's crazy. Clean Extreme thinks I have coronavirus. Thank you, Clean Extreme. May I have another? But, yeah, our governor doesn't want to have press conferences because he wants everybody to be socially distanced. So his idea of doing it is standing at a podium somewhere. Let's assume he's in Las Vegas because that's got to be command central. I don't think that the state legislature is meeting. I think all that's been canceled. And he talks and he has this the sign language person over here and he's over here and then there's one other person over there. And they do them on Facebook. They don't even say we interrupt this Las Vegas channel with a Las Vegas news update. Steven, I saw my name. What is your favorite ground beef blend? 85-15. I'm a fan of 90-10. I like 90-10. But, Kevin, apparently we won't have any beef to eat. That sucks because everybody is going to be starving. Speaking of food shortages, can there be any more food shortages than we already went through? My goodness. Whoa, George Taranjo, thank you so much. I will keep the good info coming. But seriously, could we have any more shortages than we had a few weeks ago or months ago or decades ago? I can't remember. Time doesn't make sense anymore to me. Any more food shortages than when you went to the grocery store and there was none? Goodness gracious, but they're talking about food shortages. So guys, smoke them if you got them. And hoard all that food. Quick, everybody. Run to the store. Whoa, Bree. Nothing like being the young 20-something child at craps tables drinking Crown and Coke. Man, oh man. What I wouldn't do for just a Diet Coke right now. I love me some Diet Coke. Coke Zero is not the same. Swapping chips. Okerlund, whoa, he had 93.7 tonight. Boom. You can make any ground beef 93.7 if you just wash it, literally in hot water, and then drain it. And it's a lot cheaper than buying 93.7. That's something I used to do in my bodybuilding days when I was broke and needed protein. You can apparently swap chips. Has anybody ever tried this? I can't say for sure. Can you swap chips? You can walk into the Bellagio with an MGM Grand chip and you can say, I'd like to get credit for this. Makes sense to me. You know why? Because all they have to do is run the chips back to the MGM Grand and get money for them. But it keeps you gaming on the floor. I never even heard about that. Speaking of chips, are any of you guys concerned with the sanitariness of the chips and everything that gets touched in these casinos? I mean, let's be honest here. The numbers are probably... Whoa, Vegas Mooch saying hello. 505 wowies for Vegas Mooch. Thank you so much. And also Okerlund. Oh, and Steve Miller. Jeez Louise, you guys are heating me up. I'm sorry I only have an hour tonight. I feel really terrible about this. Maybe I'll try to go in an hour and a half, but I got to set up that room. Oh man, I have had Coke Cherry Zero. I'm okay with that. I'm not a fan of the Coke Energy Cherry. It's horrible. Whoa, be Dizzle checking in from B-More. Go Raiders. Steven, do you know Duntov? I know no Vegas YouTubers anywhere. But 512 thank yous. That's not true. I talk with Say Hi to Matthew on Instagram once in a while. He always answers back. He's nice. Whoa, Kurt! Sharks fan that moved back from Vegas in 2017. He will be back for the hockey. I'm happy that you're a Sharks fan. I don't like the Sharks, but that's just because going back in the day when they were a very new team, they broke the heart of the Calgary Flames, and it was in the first round of the playoffs, and that jinxed the Flames. They had this goaltender named Joe Flaherty, I think. Wade Flaherty's the actor. Wait, it might have been Wade, Joseph. Whichever one's not the actor, Wade or Joe. You had him, and he was just ridiculously good. And I watched the Flames lose, and I'm like, wow, man. And that was it. The Flames didn't go on to get into the Stanley Cup final or playoffs until 2004 when they lost to a dirty, cheating, stinking Tampa Bay Lightning team. There was a goal. I'm talking hockey. So I heard you can swap chips, and that makes a lot of sense. You can walk into the Bellagio with an MGM chip, give it to them, they give you the credit for it, and they want you to gamble at their hotel. Makes sense, right? Just run the chips back. You know, and one more thing about Vegas chips. Not on my paper, I'm just going off the cuff of my head. Let's say you find a chip in a casino. It's just right there on the floor, and you pick it up, and a security guard stops you. They take the chip back. Would you complain? Would you complain if they took the chip back that you found on the floor? I bet you would, but you'd be wrong because Nevada gaming law says that anything that's unattended in a casino, especially gambling conveyances, slots on a machine, they become property of the machine. So if you are, I know people that have done this in the past and they've made quite a little money off of it. They would, yes, Iggy was great, Reno. I agree with you there, my friend. People would make quite a lot of money, and they would go in and they would try to find a machine with a blinking light, and they would just press the cash out voucher, get the voucher, take it to the cage. Or then you don't even have to go to the cage nowadays. Of course, there's those kiosks in there, and you just go in there and you just do the thing and press the button and get the money. Well, those machines with the blinking lights with nobody on them, same law. Can't do it. Now, one time, I remember I promised the wife we would go to the Orleans buffet, and we were pretty broke, and I didn't want to admit any of that. So I took her, and it was like the last money I had for a few days, and she knew it, and I knew it. But, you know, damn it, sometimes you just have to be nice to yourselves. Trust me on this. Breaking, what did I say? Breaking. Wynn just posted conference with President Trump on Instagram. Cool. We'll have to watch that and talk about it tomorrow. Thank you, Reno. Appreciate it very much. You're one of the good ones out there. And since you're one of the good ones out there, we'll make you a moderator. Reno, just know racism, sexism, anti-Semitism, hate speech. People can curse a little bit, not a whole lot. People are allowed to express their opinions on the government. But, yeah, and it doesn't make them bad unless they start insulting people and then just blatant insults. Don't call people stupid because they feel a certain way about politics. Ever. All right, so, yeah, I found one. It was in the buffet. And I found a $100 chip in the buffet, and it was like, whoa, man, that is awesome. That was great. I think if we get back to normal, we all need to have a Not Leaving Las Vegas party. I don't know whose house they're going to have that out, but hey, there you go. Slot Junkie, if Vegas opens, everything will follow. The whole state of Nevada is supported and propped up by gaming, and that's something we have, and that's something we should be proud of. Just because we didn't diversify doesn't mean anything. Akoff Suit says that not all casinos will swap chips. That is good. Maybe I'll make a whole video about that, but it sounds like a lot of research to me. So, guys, this live stream's got another 30 minutes left in it because that's what I got left in it. And me, I haven't eaten any food today properly. I'm going to go eat some leftovers. The wife made lasagna. The other thing about Vegas that you probably already know, what story was that, Ron G? I got completely... Okay, I found a chip in the Orleans, and I picked it up, and I cashed it. But what I did was I actually came back the very next day and cashed it. I didn't want to be seen on camera picking up a chip, sliding in my pocket, going to the cage. Hey, look at me, I found this on your floor. That would be stupid because they're always watching you in those casinos. They're always watching you in the casinos. Let Your Light Shine lives here, and she's getting Vegas withdrawals. You got to come down to the Strip. I told you how to do it. Park your car somewhere and walk. It's only 104 degrees or something ridiculous like that. But anyways, next up, the Berlin Wall. So I don't even know how it happened, but if you go to the Main Street station, assuming you can ever get in the building, wow, thank you, Herbert. I appreciated Herbert. You the Man Now dog, and he's got a dog on his avatar. And where is You the Man Now dog come from? Can anybody tell me? Come on. Which actor said, "You're the man now, dog"? Oh, I said it just like him. Darn it. You know what? Forget it. Oh, man, he is heavier than ever because I am tired as ever. Who said it? Who said it? 564 likes to Herbert. And tell me who said, "You're the man now, dog." That's Sir Sean Connery to you, NA. And you win. And you are awesome. And there you go. Yes, there can only be one. Wait, that was Christopher Lambert that said that. Hi, Blackjack. Headbutts from heaven. Okay, so the Berlin Wall, if you could ever get invited, if they ever open. Hi.
You're keeping the Goon store?
Yes. The Berlin Wall is in the bathroom at the Main Street station, but specifically in the men's room. I don't know if it's supposed to be some kind of capitalistic middle finger to the Soviet Union. Come on, dude, what is wrong with you? And communism, but it is there, and it's where the urinals are installed in the men's room, so technically you're peeing on the Berlin Wall. But my question is, how did they get that much? How did they get that much of the Berlin Wall? I don't know. That sounds like Jiminy Glick. How did they get that much of the Berlin Wall? That's a terrible impression. Martin Short is a fantastic actor. Give me a thumbs up. Thanks for joining us. If you're just joining us today, we're talking about 8 weird things about Las Vegas that are interesting to anybody, maybe somebody, interesting to me at least. And that's what we're talking about. You should subscribe to the channel if you like Vegas or you like stuff and things. Yeah, because I talk about Vegas and stuff and things. So that's at the Main Street Station. Main Street Station. Now, there's on average 249,000 people a day in Las Vegas. Okay, so there's 44 million visitors a year to Las Vegas. So we're going to talk about the size of Las Vegas in just a moment in terms of metropolitan size. Whoa, Jimmy James.
Okay, pause
Hi.
real quick.
I got to pause real quick on my live stream. What's going on?
That they bought when you sent them the money.
I sent them the money, and they bought
and
McDonald's.
They got the Jollibee. No, that's Jollibee.
It's McDonald's.
Is it McDonald's?
It says McSharebox.
Oh,
cool. I send, as you guys might know, I send money over to the Philippines, and they treated themselves. And so, if you guys ever wondered what Filipino McDonald's looks like, it's in this picture that's not turning for whatever reason. That's Filipino McDonald's. I'll post that on my Patreon.
And they got to share. Everybody
shared. Cool.
Yeah. Christina and Justin.
Oh, cool.
So it's a full meal.
Oh, that's nice. Costs like
and this is
$10.
okay. This is what it looks like, so you can see.
Okay.
Order for later. right? Because they're closed.
Oh,
so you
yeah.
have to call ahead.
You have to call ahead.
Yeah, this is in the Philippines.
Yeah, well, same as here.
So, and then last night they couldn't buy it because they closed early.
And it says Jollibee, but it is about McDonald's.
I know they didn't get that one because
got
I guess that
confused.
one's probably like closed as well.
I don't know. That's awesome.
But they thank you.
Okay.
And they thank everybody also.
Yes, I know.
So I always tell them.
Aw. Come to watch a live stream. Get their friends to
He
watch.
does.
Filipino
Of course he
style.
does.
All right, cool.
All right. So
All right.
thank you for that as well.
Yes, okay.
Thanks, guys.
All right, guys. So, yeah. So, there you go.
You
Yeah.
made like maybe like 10 people happy.
I made 10 people happy today. Okay.
Or pretty less.
If you guys are happy, hit the like button. Thank you guys so much. Jimmy James, by the way, yes. I sent 3 packets of crafted. You shouldn't have done that, Jimmy. I don't know what to tell you. You've been way too generous, guys. Thank Jimmy James for being way too generous to me because he was he sent me other stuff and I was like, I can't keep opening stuff on camera. People gonna hate me. Whoa, Eric, Canadian Gold Boy, that is awesome too. I am exhausted. Thank you guys so much. Martin Short was good in Captain Ron. Martin Short was good in everything, good sir. And Okerlund, I just blew your eardrums to death. Talk about casino food, scrapes, and the pig farms. Oh, yeah. So, okay, it's not on my list, but we used to go. Whoa, Brett Boyle, Okerlund, Brett Boyle, Eric Canadian, Gold Boy, Gray, Jimmy James, Herbert Daughtry. 550 likes for everybody. I miss the El Cortez. Did you see the photos of the El Cortez? No, not recently. Brett, you should email them to me. I'll share them with people on my Facebook group. Okay, so, yeah. Okay, so if you remember, I told you guys that back in the day, the Rio had a really good deal on buffets. You could go to the Rio buffet, and it was buy one, get one free for locals, which was great. It was any day of the week, not just specifically any one day of the week. So I really loved the fact that they had crispy fish and chips. Man, I am a fish and chips fiend. You can't get it the same as where you are back home. It doesn't matter. So, Steve Snyder says, I know a guy that bought 2 roosters for $4,500 in the Philippines. Dollars or pesos? Because that's about $100, and that might make sense, unless he was buying game hens that literally fight each other. It's really brutal. I'm not a fan. I've never been to it. I never will. But they put razor blades on these things, and then they kick and peck at each other, like in the movie. Which movie did they do that in? Bloodsport? Similar idea, but with chickens. Anyways. Yeah, Kissy Cat. So there's another thing I should have talked about on camera. The Wedding License Bureau is open. We got at the magazine I work with, we got a press release from them, 5 pages. They are open. Steve Snyder says dollars. That's ridiculous. You could build a house for that much. Wow. So yeah, man, you guys are taking me way off subject. I'm not doing very well right now. So we went to the Rio, and the fish and chips. I love fish and chips, and I was eating them, and I asked the chef behind the counter, and I said, how do you have fish and chips? Thank you, Jasonic Hedgehog, for being here, my friend from Montreal. He's in Montreal, everybody. Oh, the El Cortez photos of my Facebook group. I haven't been in the Facebook group all day today. I feel really bad. My moderators are doing a great job, I'm sure. I will take a look at the El Cortez photos, Brett. I will definitely check it out. I like to look at that group once or twice, at least a day, so I know what's going on, because you guys post good news in there. You guys should join the Not Leaving Las Vegas Facebook group. It's free to join. You have a good place to chat. It's communal. It's not some BS fan worship page. I don't like those. Those are stupid. A group is where everybody can have a community. So I'm at the buffet, and I say, how do you manage to have crispy French fries and fish and chips? I mean, this is ridiculous. You must have to throw this food out. Doesn't that get wasteful? And he says, no. I says, what do you mean? He goes, well, you notice that we're on a rail line, and there's a rail line that runs behind all the casinos. Very true. There's actually a railway that runs behind all the casinos. If you've ever been stuck in traffic over behind the city center, you know what I'm talking about. And I said, okay. And he says, well, what we do is we take all the scraps from all the food at all the casinos, and we load them up in these giant, huge... First of all, they go through a big old machine. They go through a machine that takes out anything that could be in there, like silverware, cutlery, wallets. Like, people put the stupidest things on their plate, and then the plate gets scooped up under other plates, and then you miss your thing. We take all that, we separate the food from the garbage or the things that aren't garbage, and then we ship them to piggeries up in northern Nevada, and also in Nevada. I'm like, what? Yeah, he says, yeah, for real. And he says, then we recycle them, and then we buy those pigs, and then we eat those pigs. And I was like, I have like in my head as he's talking about it. I have like hum na 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 na, like the circle of life is in my head, and I'm like, huh, I get it now. We are really efficient in Las Vegas, and that's a real story. That's what they do. So there you go. And that's the story. Yes, there are piggeries in the state of Nevada. The further north you go in the state of Nevada, that's all, folks. The further you go in the state of Nevada north, the less it looks like Las Vegas. You'll see like lush vegetation, and you'll see harsh winters with feet of snow at a time. Winnemucca, the state of Nevada grows more onions than any other state. Like, why do I even know this? Why do I know that the state of Nevada grows more onions? Well, they do, and they also have potatoes that are Idaho potatoes, but they're growing up near Winnemucca, which is the Johnny Cash song. I've been everywhere, man. Of course. I got an email from somebody. It says, not leaving Las Vegas is amazing. Well, it's very nice of you to say that. I'll read that email later. Read emails on camera. That's boring. Crispy dill pickle. I love me some crispy dill pickles. You got to go look at the impersonation. Thank you so much. He says, hey, coming out this June, what's going to be open? Your guess is as good as mine. I know it'll be some casino floors that'll be open. I know there will be some restaurants that'll be open. Maybe some shows. I don't know. You'll see. Ooh, Sun Fam says, first in, first chat. Loving the channel. Thank you so much, son. I appreciate you being here, man. Welcome to the crew. Guys, can I get 532 thank yous for Crispy Dill Pickle and also Sun Fam? And if you want to laugh, go on YouTube and type in Denzel Washington Will Smith impression. You'll find a video that's made to look like a behind-the-scenes documentary where Will Smith and Denzel Washington played in a film together. It's by Jay Farrow. He was a bit player on Saturday Night Live. Now, I know you're going to say it's not funny, and I don't think Saturday Night Live is very funny either, but he does an impression of both Denzel Washington and Will Smith. And there's a line in there about skinless pickles, and I'm not going to spoil it for you. So go watch that. You can even do it right now. Watch. My viewership drops. Oh, look, it did drop. Oh, look, it went up again. I don't know why 525 people watch me. I have watched some live streams. I try to keep the energy up for you because I watch those streams. This is what the streams look like, right? Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's really cool. Thank you, Elizabeth Chamberlain. Yeah. Right on, Steve Snyder. And I'm like, dude, that's boring. Like, that's like, why don't I just live stream me playing a video game? Wait, PewDiePie did that. I guess he was pretty successful. So the first, DTW is old school. My goodness. Oh my gosh. And Derek has an opinion on them. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Okay, so 449,000 people come to Vegas, 45 million people a year, give or take. Sometimes those stats are bolstered by extra large conventions that come through, like I think the Builders Expo was out here. Some of these conventions, they go to different areas geographically around the world. So I remember I worked at the Geological Expo once. We set up things. The machines were so big that it was literally like the tires on these things were 5 stories tall, and they said that they would actually build them in the bottom of a mine and then do the mining and then build them, take them apart and bring them back up to the diamond mine or the gold mine on the top. Is the Golden Gate the first casino to open? Yeah, well, I think so. I'm gonna get it wrong on this, and I know it as we know it as the Golden Gate. It was the Salvage, Las Vegas backwards, but it was something before that. Hotel Nevada, I think. Steve, why do you have to be so cool? I don't know about that, but I appreciate that. That was nice of you. Hey Arnold, yes, that's a good cartoon. I know what you're doing there, Albert. Trying to get me to do the Arnold voice. 15,000 miles of neon tubing is apparently what they used to have out here when there was still neon. Now the only neon that I can find is at the Flamingo. I miss old neon. It was a complete awesome thing to have out there. I mean, neon is an art form. It's got that distinctive buzz and it's got that beautiful colors. And if you go up to neon real close, you can see the little vibrations of the gases inside. And I mean, neon is pretty amazing. It's incredibly expensive because when it breaks, you have to replace it. And if it's decorative and ornamental, but it is an art form. And I wish that it still existed to this date. Though there's 15,000 miles of it at some point in this city when it was at its height. And Vegas, for the record, is the 42nd largest metropolitan area in North America. You would think it would be bigger. You'd think Vegas would be bigger. I mean, we have the Raiders. We have the Golden Knights. We're apparently going to have a basketball team at some point. But nope, it's not. It's not. No, hello. I literally turned this on for the camera. I force myself to sit here. This is not me being rude or a jerk. And I do this. I'm not like this in regular. Like, you get me in the kitchen and we're talking over dinner. I'm more or less the person on the camera. But when I get on the camera, I amp it up. I have to do it. Steven, enjoy all the attentions while we're at home. You're in high demand. I know, Kissy Cat. I'm aware after this is over, nobody's going to watch, but it's okay. Who likes the Luxor? I know Let Your Light Shine likes the Luxor. She did a video on the ghosts of the Luxor. It's one of her highest ranking videos on her channel. Her other highest ranking video on the channel is something about geotagging or geocaching or I don't know anything about that technology, but you should go watch her channel. She lives in Henderson, so she'll give you another perspective on the city of Henderson. Jen says, I'm a pro. Robin's Egg says, bonjour. Bonjour, Robin's Egg. Comment ça va? Steven, when is your wife going to cut your hair? I don't know, man. I was working all day on that thing, and it is tiring. I just want to pay $28 for a drink at the pool. Never thought I'd say that. Bree wants to go spend too much money on alcohol because that is Vegas. Take the Clippers from LA? No thanks. No one wants the Clippers. I'm just kidding. I'm sure they'll be good someday. Geofencing. I don't know what it was. Wait, what's the video of the Luxor, Connie says, or somebody says. It's too fast. It was about there's haunted Luxor or something. People have asked me to do the video, but I don't want to do the video because she already did the video, and I think she did a good job of the video, so why would I do another video and step on somebody else's video? I'm happy you're happy. Ça va bien, ça va très bien. What is the monorail extension? There is no monorail extension. They almost went out of business last summer, and then 2 weeks later they said, we're going to the MSG Sphere. And then the MSG Sphere closed its construction down. Ha! Well, so much for that monorail extension, eh? Yes, I know. All right, so I went through a bunch of Vegas facts. You got them real fast. You can't get your money back, but you didn't pay it because it's YouTube. Unless you pay for YouTube like me. I pay $10 a month for YouTube so I can get all the music in the world and stop pirating music, and so I can get the ad-free experience. So there you go. I miss the Riviera. I miss it too, Crystal Smith. I do miss it too. The Riviera Comedy Club was iconic and epic. Wow, where you are sitting, I will run and get you a drink. Oh my gosh. What is your most favorite Vegas hotel? Probably the Planet Hollywood, just because I spent so much time there. I have a vacation. Will I be able to visit? I don't see why not. Alfredo Rivera, that's a long time from now. I've seen videos of fighter jets doing low altitude training in the canyon in Nevada. Any idea where this location is? I really don't know where that is. That's a good question. There's Air Force bases, obviously, at Nellis, but Nellis goes so far up there. I was watching Bob Lazar talk today. That guy is an interesting dude, and he's talking about the S3 or S4. He's talking about Area 51 and the Janet planes, which you see the Janet planes. In Vegas, Janet planes are plain white planes with red triangles on the back, and when Janet planes fly out of the specific terminal at McCarran International, all the other planes mysteriously take a second. So if you're ever delayed on the tarmac at McCarran, it's because there's a Janet plane coming in or going out. And they shuttle employees to and from Las Vegas up to Area 51 and other areas where they do all sorts of top secret things. Don't you remember when we were going to storm Area 51? Listen to how things have changed. Things have changed. We've gone from, hey, let's get 500,000 people together in the middle of the desert. Get this, a year ago, right? It was a year ago. So we're going to get 500,000. It was even like September. So we're going to get 500,000 people, right? Okay. So I got it, 500,000. Yeah, we're going to go into the middle of the desert. Okay. Yeah, we're going to build a bunch of tents. All right. We're going to walk right up to Area 51. Wait a minute. What? Yeah, right up to Area 51. And we're going to storm it. Are you sure about that? Yeah, 500,000 people in close proximity. What's the worst that could happen? Yeah, there you go. 115 degrees, airport won't allow takeoff. Well, actually, it's been 117 degrees a few times. The planes do fly in and out. They have to play with their fuel loads because I think jet fuel it kind of operates differently at that temperature. Yes, they were. So it's amazing. Yes, and Champagne Pappy is. So here's how you can tell if somebody's in the chat. What you do is you type the @ symbol and then you type their name. So if someone's in the chat, they will show up even if they're silent. It's a secret that somebody told me that was very smart. And yeah, so there you go. I miss standing at the airport watching the planes. I'm just sitting here watching the planes go round and round. I really love to watch them roll. What song did I just butcher? It's a song, and it's a very good song by a person who I miss dearly. I'll give you a clue. My father bought this as a gift for me a long time ago, and I've yet to hang it up on my wall. I'm just sitting here watching the wheels go round and round. I really love to watch them roll. No more playing on the merry-go-round. There you go. Nobody knows that song. But I'll give you a chance to catch up in the chat. Oh, man. Is Lake Mead full? No, not at all. Paul was right. John Lennon. I have stamps from Chad. Yeah, I don't know. It's a certificate of authenticity. It says this certifies the accompanied John Lennon portraits, plate block number 9 of 9, is an official legal tender postage issued of Chad. Chad! Remember Chad? He was cool. He made stamps with John Lennon's picture on them, recognized by every postal authority around the world. The number below has been assigned to this block, thus assuring its limited edition status. It's 4,642. Those are my John Lennon stamps. I know, right? I tell people I'm a Beatles fan, and they don't really pay attention. I am. And that could be some proof. Maybe it's some proof. I don't know. There's ways to work with these mics, by the way, so you can make it sound like you're in another part of the room. I don't know. It is what it is. Everybody keeps asking me to do the Arnold voice. You do the Arnold voice over and over and over, and nobody cares anymore. And then it's just cliche. So I have to say, you know what? Y'all gonna have to come back another day for another Arnold voice. I have a really... My voice gets tired doing Arnold. I love y'all. That's great. John Boy wants it. Everybody wants it. We're going to skip on Arnold tonight, and we're going to practice Arnold and come back stronger than ever, just like the state of Nevada. The Aladdin is the Planet Hollywood. This is true. The Miracle Mile was the Desert Passage. Deanna's a Beatles fan. What's your favorite Beatles song? If you have one, let us know in the comment below. You can pick anyone. I like Michelle, but, you know, it's a nice song, and it's not normal. What I don't like is, you ever had this experience? We're not even talking Vegas for the last few minutes, I guess. You watch like American Idol, and they say, and now performing something da boop da boop, and you're like, oh, I love this, and then they butcher it, and then you're like, oh man. Gail hates the Arnold voice. Gail is either trying to do some reverse psychology on me, or she really hates the Arnold voice. That's funny. Yeah, so, I mean, there's a whole breadth of what was what. I mean, Bally's was the MGM Grand. The MGM Grand, I think, is where the Marina was. The Hacienda is now the Mandalay Bay. The Dunes is now the Bellagio. The Sands is now the Venetian. The Desert Inn is now the Wynn. There's a lot of these, man. There's a lot of these that you could go through. So I have every single Beatles album queued up on my phone, and then I was going to take a fancy screenshot of it, and then I realized there's literally 1,000 tracks. Yeah, I can't find my quart, Tony says, so I have 2 cups, so I'm not just disappointing you. I'm double cupping today, whatever that means. We got DJ Pappy, DJ Ken, DJ PK, which means I spend Seratos. I love it. You guys are great. The White Album, yes, it's awesome. It's technically not called the White Album. Colloquially, we all call it that. I'm not going to do a Rain Man. Come on, Deanna. No, definitely won't do that. That's a bad impression anyways, because it was a negative stereotype of a person with autism. But it's based on a real person. Wild Thing, you make my heart sing. Remember Major League where he says, Wild Thing, you make my something sting. I'm not going to say it. Yeah, it's all corporate casinos now, my friends. But there are some small ones out there. If you go into the middle of the desert, in the middle of nowhere, you can find some little mom and pop type places. I mean, I miss Bonnie Springs. That was great. Evan thinks that Sisolak is a communist. Yep, Zappos is buying up lots of land in downtown. Yeah, Amazon is going to dominate this town. Mike says the Arnold is awesome. Thank you. I want to do it so I'm not always screaming all the time. Deanna didn't mean it that way. It's okay, Deanna. You're awesome, and I love y'all for being good. Joe, my wife is a Filipina. She's from the southern part of the Philippines. Do I miss Canadian smoked meat? Never been a huge fan. Ow, I fell on my keys. Hold on, guys. The best impression is to be yourself. John, I don't know who I am anymore. I really don't. I've gone down this YouTube rabbit hole to the point where I do these things and I talk real fast and I try to get my energy up because I want to be entertaining, and that's the main thing. It's not that I'm being artificial right now, but I am being an amplified version of who I am because I see live streams and they are so boring. And I'm like, and I'm not talking about Vegas live streams, by the way. So don't, before you go on and say, that guy was talking about this YouTuber. No, I wasn't talking about a Vegas YouTuber. Okay? I don't know. And I see them, though. I see guys. There's one YouTuber I watch. He's got 850,000 subscribers. He pulls less numbers than me. And so I'm confused as to why that is. And so I decide when I'm going to do a live stream, I'm going to be energetic so I can have a good time. And then maybe you can have a good time. And then we have a good time together. But how do you have 850,000 subscribers and get 400 people in your live stream? My mind was blown. That's that little emoji. You know what I mean? That's what that is. DJ Poppy got married at the Aladdin. We should all change our names to DJ something. I'll be DJ NLLV. And I got DJ Poppy. I got DJ VD, Victor. That sounded bad when I said it. I didn't mean it like that. VJ, Video Jockey, Mark Rotten. Jen Bootsy. Yeah, there you go. Boom. Swiss Chalet, always so good for so little. And at Christmas time, they had Toblerone or Toblerone, whichever way you want to say it. Steve, have you seen a Beatles Love at the Mirage? No, man, I would love to go to that. Oh my gosh. My wife wants to go to that. The tickets are stupid expensive for a good seat. I love it, man. I have the Beatles album, the one, if you're a Beatles fan, know this, right? The way they're redoing all these Beatles songs right now, it is because of the Beatles Love Show at the Mirage. Okay, so here's a Vegas-related Beatles story. So Gilles Martin, who's George Martin's son, George Martin was too old and he was losing his hearing. He's no longer with us. But his son, Gilles Martin, he took all of those songs and then did like magic wizardry on them and split them all up into like super channel sound for the Beatles Love Show. And so the Beatles Love soundtrack exists. Do not buy the soundtrack at the Mirage, whatever you do, because it's a common disc. Hell, you can go on any streaming service and listen to it, but they'll overcharge you at the Mirage. Buy a better Beatles souvenir at the Mirage. That's all I'm saying. T-shirts and stuff you can't get anywhere else. But so because they ripped apart all that sound and they re-engineered it, they got down to be able to do it for all the other albums. So now you have a version of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band that's like supersonic stereo sound, whereas that album was recorded intentionally to be in mono. Larry says the Love is not expensive. Well, the tickets we wanted were $100 a piece, and so we chose not to go to it because it was expensive for us at the time. Larry's a high roller. He's a baller. Larry's actually a very generous person. He was super nice to me. He's on my Facebook. He's my friend on Facebook. So I'm just giving you a hard time, Larry. Swiss Chalet gives Lint instead of Toblerone now. Oh man, they sold out on the Toblerone. That's probably because you can buy Toblerones at the dollar store down here, but we have some of the best dollar stores. Yeah, Swiss Chalet is a Canadian brand of quick service restaurant, and I wish they had them here. Business casual in 2020, flip-flop shorts and a wife beater. Yeah, we're pretty much getting there, man. I'm telling you right now. I'm wearing Rolling Stones swimming trunks right now. Yep, our tickets last time were $130 each. Well, I mean, in terms of Vegas shows, you can go to, for $260, you could go to nearly every show at the V Theater. So, in terms of value. But if you're a Beatles fan, you will get a great experience out of it. I remember the Mirage had a great display for it at one point. It was literally a three-dimensional TV, like the type you didn't need glasses for. And it was so cool, and I just was transfixed. And I was like this, going back and forth, looking at this trailer for the Beatles Love, going, wow. Try listening to A Day in the Life in 5.1, Jim says. I imagine that would be fantastic. You know, and it's a great song, Day in the Life. And then, of course, Paul McCartney wrote that. Wait, which one wrote which one first? Penny Lane was written by Paul McCartney. It was kind of like his answer to A Day in the Life. John Lennon wrote A Day in the Life. How long have you been living in Las Vegas, Gail says. Gail, I've been here since 2004, so 15, 16 years or so. When love comes back, I'll buy you and Caroline tickets. Connie, you're too generous. You're still waiting on your face masks. We are terrible for not having them shipped out yet. I'm sorry. Connie is a very generous person, by the way, guys. That's all you need to know. Vegas suits 50% off with Tix enough points. Yeah, there's also a couple of different things you can do for shows and stuff like that. I actually cried when I saw Love. It was so great. How about a high-speed train, Vegas to Calgary? You'd have to conquer them Rocky Mountains. Well, technically you wouldn't, actually. That would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Fantasy at the Luxor is Reno's favorite show. That's a good show. 100 is cheap in Vancouver. Anytime a show is here, it sells out right away. You're looking at over 300 for a decent seat each. That's why I love Vegas lots. Well, that's 300 Canadian dollars. It's like $10 US. I'm sorry, I couldn't admit. Look at that. I turned into a Japanese girl. All of a sudden, oh, so tiny. Everything in Japan's so cute. Why? I don't understand. It's a cultural thing, I think, covering your mouth when you laugh. They do it in the Philippines, too, and I don't get it, man. Show those big pearly whites. But that was my joke. I used to tell that in timeshare when sometimes Canadians would not be very nice, because Canadians aren't always nice. That's just a stereotype that we have. And I'd be like, come on, man, I'll give you $100, and you do the timeshare. And I don't know what I was going to get him. He'd turn around and look at me. I'd say, that's like $5 million in Canada. And he'd look at me, and I'd be like, relax, dude. I know it's like $130 Canadian. But, you know, they don't find it funny. Because why? Why don't you find it? Why you gotta be so mad? I've literally had people that come to the strip, and they're like, we're only here because we have to be here. We're never coming back as long as your president is in office. Or, you know, I hate Las Vegas. You know, you people with your health care. And I'm like, wait, what? Okay. A fun thing I used to do in Vegas with the timeshare people, and I stopped doing it because somebody got really, really mad at me once, and he was like, oh yeah, well, you probably don't know about Canadian football. I'm like, oh, I know all about it, because he didn't know I was from Canada. And he said, really? And I said, oh yeah, the Edmonton Lions, the BC Rough Riders, the Calgary Argonauts. I know all those teams. Now, I was obviously messing him up, but he got so mad at me. He got so mad. And I was like, oh, whoa, dude, relax. Okay, yeah, Canadian football. Woo, our balls are bigger. That was the advertising. He's like, how'd you know that? I'm like, dude, I'm from Canada. He goes, well, you know, Americans should know more about Canada. I said, I will agree with you if you can tell me one thing. And he goes, what? And I said, what state is the city of Brainerd in? And he thought about it, and he said, I don't know. And I said, it's in Minnesota. How come you don't know that? He goes, well, then his brain exploded, and I said, See why Americans don't know about Canadian football, and you don't know what state the small town of Brainerd, Minnesota is? So anyways, I think I proved my point. But I stopped doing that, because why do you got to do that? Why you got to do that? Nobody likes that guy that always has to be right about everything and straighten people out, and it's BS. Anyways, there you go. All right, guys, it's been an hour. You guys have been great. Let's thank everybody. I got to sleep. Man, I'm so tired, but I didn't want to miss a night because I do 20 nights in a row. Gail, that's a good question, Gail, and we'll answer that on tomorrow's live stream. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody who was a moderator. Thank you, everybody who chatted with me tonight. Thank you, everybody who asked me a question. We have 426 Rich, who was awesome. You're all awesome, by the way, but these are just the people that wanted their name in lights. Jerry Diver, Jared Green, Eric Canadian Goldboy Gray, again with Eric Canadian Goldboy Gray. Thank you so much. George Taranjo, Bree28, Okerlund, Vegas Mooch, Steve Miller, B Dizzle, Kurt H, Herbert Daughtry, Jimmy James, Making It Rains, Eric Canadian Goldboy Gray again, Okerlund, Brett Boyle, and Crispy Dill Pickle. You win YouTube naming rights today. You're awesome. And also Sunfam, or is it Sonfam, or I don't want to say it wrong, but you guys are very generous people. Thank you guys so much. I want to apologize profusely to you for not being able to go the extra 27 minutes. I have to set up the bed, and I have to make everything right so my wife's allergies don't attack her, and I still have to clean the heck out of that room. And that's where my priority lies. But you guys are also my priority. That's why I was here with you guys. Brainerd was in Fargo, and Calgary was in Fargo, the TV series. Now's the time I go. Tell y'all to share the videos if you could. And, yeah, there's that. Oh, I forgot to show you this. I can do this now. I can do this now because it's not that annoying. Look at this one here. I made this. It's called This Is My Vegas Mug. It's going to be pinned in a minute. Hold on. Come on, you. It's not working. So I made this mug. It's called This Is My Vegas mug, but it's deciding it's not going to pin in my channel. You guys might want to... There it is. That's my Vegas mug. And the top arrow says vodka, and the bottom arrow says coffee. I just thought it was clever, so I made it, and I put it onto Teespring, and I was like, I'm going to try to make some more clever stuff, too. So you'll see. You'll see. I'm trying to earn it, not just ask you guys for charity. I don't ever ask, but I feel terrible sometimes. I got a lot of guilt. You guys got to go. I got to leave. You guys are great. Thanks for being great. And we got to go. It's 3, 2, 1 click time. And 3, 2, 1. See you tomorrow, everybody. 90-minute live stream, I promise. Bye.